All right, you guys, so I'm here just a little bit early. I'm gonna let everyone get in. Happy Thursday. Happy February the 19th. Y'all, we is making our way through this year, okay? And I know last weekend was Valentine's Day weekend. Let me know how everybody's Valentine's Day went. I just work, y'all. Y'all know me. I'm not really in it yet. Like, I'm just be working, and I don't mind making everybody else feel beautiful until it's my time to shine, okay? Because when it's my time to shine, baby, we is going all out. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Hey, Natasha girl, happy Thursday. So I know it's kind of early, but today we will be doing a St. Patty's Day inspired look. And just a fun fact, you guys, when I was in college, I actually had an internship in Ireland, and I got a chance to be in the St. Patty's Day parade, and it was like a total different experience. Like, it was all over the TVs, it was cameras everywhere, it was photographers everywhere. It was cold as hell, but it was just crazy. Like, the experience and getting into that big old costume was insane, and I won't never forget it, you guys. I even have Ireland tattooed on my arm or whatever. But yeah, it was just a really crazy experience. What I'm trying to remember what I was for St. Patty's Day. I think I was a big old like candy cane or a lollipop or something like that. But I did have a job over in Ireland, and I was there from, I want to say I was there from the end of January to the beginning of April or something like that. And I lived over there, you guys, and like they go all out for St. Patty's Day. Like, they take off of work. Actually, in other countries, they're not as strict as we are over here in the US. Like, if you're late to work, like I remember one time I was like huffing and puffing because I was running to work in Ireland, and I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry for being late. And they was like, as long as you got here. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then we would work and all that other type of stuff. And then they would have like coffee tea break first thing in the morning, and then at lunch they had coffee tea break. Then you had to take another, like they was big on coffee and tea, and you always had to have a break to take it. Okay, on the St. Patrick's Day makeover, I'm have our. Oh, really? Go ahead, girl. Yeah, I was gonna say the Irish, like they know how to have fun. They know how to party. Like, I went partying in Ireland, and y'all, this was like many years ago. This was like 2015 or something like that. And so, yeah, this was like 2015, and I mean, the legal drinking age was 18, and everywhere was just like a party. Like, it may not have been every single night, but for the most part it was like they would like to party, and they would party during the day, and it wasn't as big of a like, they're just not strict over there like we are here, especially when it comes to the working world, you know? Like, if you were late to work, they didn't care as long as you got there safely. If you needed to leave early or whatever, they didn't care. Like, they always made sure you had breaks and all this other type of stuff. It was a cool experience. I remember, like, they love to drink. They love to drink. Like, they can drink. I remember one time, and I know this is nasty, y'all, but I drank so much Guinness. Like, I was so drunk that I laid on the bathroom floor because they just kept drinking and drinking and drinking. Like, they would not stop. And like, because they knew I was from America, they would just have rounds or whatever. And like, drinking Guinness or alcohol over in Ireland, it was way cheaper than drinking over here. And I mean, like, from the time we came in there to the time we left, they just had rounds coming, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't keep up with these people. But for the most part, y'all, like, I definitely loved Ireland. Like, I do have to make it my business to go back and visit. I got got to go onto, they call it the Mountains of Mohar or something like that. And it was featured in Harry Potter. And it was like these big old mountains, and it's like a cliff. So if you jump off the cliff or whatever, you're a goner. Like it ain't no coming from it or whatever. But I'm trying to think of what else. We took a train over to the Titanic, and I got to actually see the actual Titanic museum. It was just a whole lot of fun, you guys. I won't never forget the experience at all. I definitely want to go back. But this time around, I want to visit Paris, France, because in Paris they have like the actual Harry Potter museum, and I love Harry Potter. So yeah, it was just a fun time. So this St. Patty's Day, well, even though we're not even in March or whatever, but I just kind of wanted to do like a St. Patty's Day look because it's a different look for me. So now that, you know, it's hitting 2 o'clock, I'm about to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with some brows here. And again, this type of look is kind of outside of my comfort zone as well, because I will be doing some greens and what have you. Oh y'all, I tried to wax my face yesterday and then messed around and burnt myself, so that's why my face look all shot up today. But yeah, but let me know how you guys been. That's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say it was a cool experience. The food over there was, I would say it was interesting because, well, I wouldn't say it was interesting. The food was very, very fresh. Like they had McDonald's over there. They had, I'm trying to think, did they have Starbucks? I think they did have Starbucks, but they also had another coffee place that was very, very like popular as well. Sorry, y'all, I got like a kink in my neck. Did they have Chick-fil-A? I don't think they had Chick-fil-A. But they did have a lot of American stuff. Like they had McDonald's, they had Starbucks. But I was just like, I don't want to eat at, if I'm out of town or whatever, I don't want to eat stuff that I can eat at home. So I would eat like the Irish stuff. And they kind of ate just a little bit weird because they would have like sunny side up eggs with like kidney beans and then a side of tomato or something like that, and I was just like, oh my. And I don't want to be judgmental. Whoops. I didn't want to be judgmental because, you know, I'm in their country. It ain't like they coming over here. But I just tried it, and if I didn't, if it was something that I like, I just wouldn't, you know, eat it. But the Irish, like their Irish food was like, that's what they called like the Irish breakfast, was sunny side up eggs, beans, and then a side of tomato. So that was like their breakfast, but you didn't have to get that. So their food wasn't nasty. It was just more so interesting. I would just stick to kind of what I knew. Like I would get a salad, and then I would get like, I think I ate mostly salads because I lost a lot of weight when I was living over there. Like I wasn't I wasn't overweight, but I was kind of chubby when I first went over there. And then when I came back, I had lost a lot of weight because their food was so fresh. It was so clean. Like all of their fruits was fresh. It wasn't no expired fruits or whatever. Like it was just a really, girl, I'm half Irish on my dad's side. Yeah, I was about to say that's so cool. And then, oh, as far as the living arrangements, oh my God, the living arrangements was, now mind y'all, this is like student housing that I lived in or whatever. And for some odd reason, like we was living in like the international houses for like students, and it was different countries in there as well. Like it was some girls from Russia. The Russian girls did not like American girls at all. Like we had a few run-ins with them. Like we almost had to fight them, but I was like, wait a minute, we can't be over here fighting, you know, people from different countries. I don't know how they move. I don't know how they operate because as far as I know, Russians, they like to stab. And I'm not, or they, you know, they might try to, some people, they don't even care, like they like to die for fun or whatever. And I'm just like, no, like we gotta live in this house with, like, it was like an apartment building, but the apartment building was only for students, and it was for students who lived in different like different not states, different countries. So it was the Russian girls, it was some girls from the UK, like, but everybody was there to do like their internship. But the Russian girls, they would just kind of like, apparently Americans, we have like a strong accent or whatever. We all can't hear it, but they could hear it. And anytime we would walk up and down the steps or whatever, they would, you know, people would be around going in and out and stuff, but they would kind of make fun of our accent. And we could tell because we would be talking and then they would be like making fun of us or whatever. And one of the girls that was in my group, she had said something or whatever, and then next thing you know, and of course everybody was drunk and going to the club or whatever the case may be. And and what was I about to say? Oh, and you know, they was just about to fight, and so I was like, well, I'm the only black girl, so I'm not about to sit up here and be fighting with, you know, like, I'm not about to have y'all back because for one, I'm the only black girl, so I ain't even got time for any of this. Like, they already, you know. So they was about to fight, and then one girl jumped in my face, and I was like, okay, well, if somebody jump in my face, I'm gonna have to fight. And so we was about to fight or whatever, but then the police, or what, I forgot what they call the police over there, but they actually came and like broke it up or whatever. But one of the Russian girls, she was just like, oh, I'll cut you, I'll cut you. She wasn't talking to me, she was talking to other girl, because if she would have had to cut me, baby, it would have been on and popping up in that, up in Ireland, okay? But girl, it was wild. And the Russians, they didn't like us all because we were Americans. Like, we didn't do anything to them. Like, I don't know if it was because back in that time, I don't remember who the president was. I don't remember if it was Obama. I don't remember if it was George Bush. But whoever our president was at the time was like trying to start a war with Russia or whatever. So they just didn't like us for some odd reason. But baby, you need to take that up with the president. Like, don't take that up with me. Like, that don't got nothing to do with me or whatever. And so they just didn't like us based off of the strength of that. But just because they want to go to war with y'all country, that don't mean I want to go to war with your country. Like, I don't give a fat's rat's ass. So that was kind of like a little tiff that I had to go through living in Ireland. And then the supermarkets was kind of it was one supermarket that everybody would talk about, and we actually have one in America now. I forgot the name of it though. But that was like, once I found out what supermarkets to shop at, and they named that specific supermarket, I always went there. But it was just like the food was fresh. You would have to eat the food real quick because it would expire. Like, they don't have big refrigerators in Ireland like we do. Like, when I showed them pictures of my refrigerator, I remember I went to work and they was just like, can you show us pictures of back home? And when I showed them my kitchens, they was just like, oh my goodness, no wonder why Americans are fat, because y'all refrigerate. They was like, y'all refrigerator is so big because their refrigerators look like our mini refrigerators. Like, that's how their refrigerators in the house look. Because when I walked into my apartment that I was staying in, I seen the mini refrigerator and I had called down to the, what you call them, I was like, excuse me. I was just like, because it was three of us living in one apartment. So it was me and two other girls. And I was just like, is this the only refrigerator? Like, what's going on? And they was just like, no, that's our Irish refrigerators. Like even if you go into a house, like the refrigerator is gonna look like that. And I was just like, oh no, that's crazy. And they was like, well, that's why y'all Americans are obese and overweight and stuff, because y'all got them big ass refrigerators. And I was like, well, damn. So no wonder why I lost a lot of weight when I came back home. Even my mother said it. She was like, oh my, you lost a lot of weight. Yeah, because for one, they don't like to eat like how we eat. Like it wasn't no macaroni and cheese or nothing over there. Like it was just straight up like salads, and they would have like soups, they would have like chicken and stuff like that, but it wasn't no macaroni and cheese. It wasn't no like collard greens. It wasn't no it just wasn't no soul food or whatever. If you did get chicken, it wasn't fried. It was always like baked chicken and stuff. So their food was like really, really healthy. And then on top of that, everybody walked or took the bus. So I had to learn how to take it was a double decker bus. I know I'm talking a lot, y'all. But I had to learn how to take the bus. And with me, I was very like, just me living here in America or whatever, I ain't really had to learn how to take no bus like that. But it was easy. Like once you downloaded the apps and stuff, their buses did come on time, and it was like quite a few of it. So at first, when I first got to Ireland, I used to walk from where I live all the way into Dublin, past Dublin. Like I wasn't taking the bus because I didn't know how to. But they was like, download the app, and it'll literally, like on the app, it'll tell you, it'll show you walking, and then it'll tell you to put in the address of where you're going, and then it will tell you like where to walk to, what bus to get on, when to get off. Like the app literally told you how to get around. So literally, once I got the hang of taking the bus, I was either I was taking the bus a whole lot more, and then I got good at taking the bus because I took the bus to other cities and all that type of stuff too. And then the Moon Baby said, I want to visit Ireland, is on my bucket list. I was gonna say, yeah, I want to go back to Ireland. Like I really loved it. Like at first I did get homesick, but when I got, maybe I would say like a month in or whatever, that's when I felt comfortable. And the more reason, okay, so I didn't tell y'all this. This is another funny story. My first week, I would say the second, we got to Ireland in like the middle of the week. How long ago did you go? So it's been a minute because I was actually in college when I went, and my internship was in Ireland. Because I could have stayed in my city to do my internship, but with me, I'm so adventurous. Like I want to do something different. I was the first one in my program to do my internship in a different country, so I made that happen. And my tuition covered it and all that type of stuff. All I literally had to do was pay for my flight and pay for my food, but my tuition covered it. So I was just like, why not do an internship in Ireland? So it was back in, I graduated college 2015, and I had to do my internship my senior year. So it was the first part of 2015, because when I came back from Ireland, I was done. Like I was done with college. Like that was the last thing I had to do. I got all my credits. So it was 2015 that I went to Ireland. But let me tell y'all a funny story. So we got to Ireland in like the middle of the week, and then the person that we had, so what they do is I remember his name was Peter, and he was like our go-to person if something was to happen. He was our go-to person. Like if we had something going on with our job, he was the one that kind of helped us navigate Ireland. He would, if we had excursions and stuff, he would be like that go-to person. So on the First day when we got there, he was like, you know, just rest or whatever. He was like, I want everybody to rest, and then we're going out to dinner. So we did that, and then on the second and third day, he was like, okay, y'all all have to be to work by Monday. He was like, I need y'all to do a dry run so y'all can know where you're gonna work. And he was just like, you know, he was like, I would recommend you taking the bus, but he was like, but because y'all aren't familiar or whatever, he was like, just walk. Child, when I tell you, it was a lot of walking in Ireland, and my job was pretty far. But tell me why when I went to do a dry run to visit what company I was going to be working for, I got off of the bus. I didn't know, like, it's so many homeless people in Ireland, which we're used to seeing, especially if you've been to New York and stuff. But I didn't know it was so many homeless people in Ireland. And when I got off the bus, I wasn't really paying attention because I'm trying to, it's so much going on. I'm in a new country. Y'all, why I tripped over a homeless man and fractured my leg. It was like the second or third day in Ireland. I could not walk or whatever. I had to go to the hospital my third day living in Ireland. I was just like, and then I didn't know it was a homeless man until when I tripped over him. He woke up because he was like bundled up or something, and like it looked like just like sandbags or whatever. It looked like it was just like sandbags laying in the middle of the freaking concrete, but it wasn't. It was a freaking homeless man. And then he woke up and like started like cursing me out, and he was like, "You son of a bitch," or something, or so he said. And I was like, "Well, you the one that decided to sleep in the middle of the freaking whatever." So I couldn't walk or whatever. And so I had to call Peter, and I told the other girls, I was like, you know, just keep going. Y'all keep going. I was like, I cannot walk. Something is wrong with my leg or whatever. And it was my right leg. So I had to call Peter, and I told Peter, I was like, Peter, I was like, I got off the bus and I tripped over a homeless man. He cursed me out. I was like, I can't really walk. And he was like, I'm going to send you the name of a hospital, the nearest hospital to where you are, and I'm going to meet you in the hospital. So before you go to Ireland, especially if you're a student, they make you buy insurance or whatever. So I had international insurance, so I was covered. And y'all, I did my eyebrows. I'm gonna go in now with my Naked palette by Urban Decay, and this has like a whole bunch of greens and all that type of stuff. I know the story's getting good, but I do have to tell y'all what I'm using. But yes, these are the colors that I'll be using today. And if I can find another green, I think I want to stick with these greens. Yeah, I might go in. So I might go in my crease with this green as well too, you guys. Okay, so back to my I got so many stories for days, you guys. So he sends me the hospital, the name of the hospital. I go, and so I'm just like, you know, I beat him. I beat him there because he sent me the hospital that was closest to me, and so he was just like, okay, I'm almost there, because he had to be on it or whatever, because he was like, he wasn't responsible for us, but he kind of was in a sense, because we're still all adults, we're in college. So I get there, they put me in the x-ray or whatever, and as soon as they put me in the x-ray, Peter shows up. And so after I got off the x-ray, I had to wait in the waiting room. He didn't wait in the waiting room with me because, again, like I said, I'm an adult or whatever. But the x-ray came back, and they was like, you actually fractured your ankle. They was like, you fractured your ankle in 3 places. I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I fractured my ankle in 3 places. I literally just got to Ireland. Literally, it's only been 2-3 days in, and I'm already fracturing my ankle. Y'all, I had to be they didn't put me in the cast. They put me in like a removable cast. They bandaged up my ankle, and I was on crutches. It was horrible because while I want to say my leg was fractured. I want to say for the first month, I couldn't really do anything. And that's kind of like depressing when you see everybody going out, everybody having fun, everybody drinking and stuff like that. And I couldn't really move around as quick as I move around. And mind you, like, you can take a Uber and stuff in Ireland. They had Ubers, they had taxis and stuff, but all of that costs a lot of money. So that's insane, girl. And it's me and my clumsiness. Me and my clumsiness tripping. And every time I would tell people about how I fractured my ankle, they would laugh. Everybody would laugh because they'd be like, oh my God, what happened? And I'll be like, oh, I tripped and fell over a homeless man. And they'd be like, ah. And I was like, that's not funny because I had to wait. Ooh, excuse me. I had to wait like week 2. The doctor was like, okay, you can go to work, but you can't like walk, like you have to get transportation. So luckily Peter was able to set up like Ubers. Like I had like a Uber car or whatever, and then I was taking like Ubers and stuff to work, but I was on crutches, you guys. I was on crutches. And then furthermore, the job that I had, so let me talk about the job that I had. So my major was community health. So anything regarding community health, whether it be working with kids or whether it be working, you know how you have like Planned Parenthood and all that type of stuff. Like I can work in those type of places. I can work with seniors or whatever. It just had to be community health. Like anything in the community and anything that deals with behavioral health, mental health, physical health, or whatever, I could work in. So my job was actually in the hood. It was in the hood. Like Dublin was beautiful. The strip, like when I was walking to work after my leg did get better, when I was walking to work, I had a beautiful walk, but then the directions told me to turn left. I would walk and turn left. I turned right, and it was a whole nother different world. It was people, it was homeless people everywhere. It was just, I worked in the hood. And so the type of job, and I knew this going in, like they said that my job would be working with like kids who like are teen moms, like they're pregnant, pretty much badass kids. My job was working with badass kids. So I'm like, oh Lord, like not only am I American, I'm on crutches, and now my job is to work with badass kids. Child, my first day of work, and I'm on them damn crutches, and I show up. They was like, okay, everybody, this is gonna be your new community advisor. She's here for a few months. Her name is Nabby. One girl was like, and why is she on crutches? And then somebody else was like, oh, we gonna run her or whatever. And I was like, oh Lord, these kids about to eat me. I was like, these kids is about to eat me alive. Now, luckily, it was another girl there. Them kids, they was bad. Like they would cuss your ass out. It was some pregnant girls there too. And y'all, these kids were like in middle school. They was like middle school and high school. Like they was bad. They was smoking cigarettes. And I think in Ireland you kind of can smoke cigarettes at a young age, but baby, you still a kid. What you doing lighting up a cigarette? Where you get them drugs from? Like they would bring drugs into the center and stuff like that. So when I first got to Ireland, they did give me a hard time, and they gave me a hard time because I was on crutches and I was American. Now they was more so interested. They was interested in like my American life and all that type of stuff. Hey, Lord Calvin. Yes, we're doing a St. Patty's Day makeup look, and then I'm telling them about me when I had an internship and I lived in Ireland from January to April. So I'm just telling them, and kind of because we're doing like a St. Patty's Day look, and I was actually living in Ireland and I was in the St. Patty's Day parade. So I'm just giving that little, my little story. But them kids was bad, y'all. They would be smoking cigarettes. Like it was one thing if they would smoke weed. You know what I mean? Like if they was doing that, I would have been like, I would have turned a blind eye. But because they was lighting up cigarettes, they would be sneaking in their parents' flasks and drinking, and I would have to like, I would be, well, I would say the first couple of days, I would just be looking like, and mind you, I'm in a different country, so I don't know what's allowed, what's not allowed, but I would be looking at them. St. Patty's Day is coming. Yes, it's coming. So this makeup look is inspired by St. Patty's Day, and I like to kind of just go all out every year just because I did have an opportunity to live in Ireland. All right, you guys, so next I'm gonna go in with this glittery green color, and I'm gonna put that on my lid. But yeah, I would say the first couple of days, because they was just like, my she was like, and it's so beautiful, you guys, because my manager, who was my manager in Ireland, and her niece, which she ended up becoming my friend, and I gotta tell y'all about her too. I'm still friends with them to this day. Like on Facebook, they always communicate with me. Anytime they come to America, like they will alternate. So when they would come to New York, I will always take a bus up to New York and visit them. And then now that I'm living in Florida, when they come to Disney World, they'll always be like, "Oh, can you come and meet us for dinner?" So the fact that I'm still friends with my manager and her niece and stuff, like to this day, is a beautiful thing. Especially since it's been so long that I've been to Ireland. But yeah, so what I was saying was, they told me, they was like, don't jump right into like bossing the kids around or whatever. They was just like, let them warm up to you, and then your eyeshadow would look cute with a little yellow. Oh, you know what? I meant to do that. That's exactly what I meant to do, Natasha. I had a whole look. Let me see if I can Hey, Brielle. Brielle, you missed the good part of the story, girl, because I'm doing like a St. Patty's Day inspired makeup, and I was telling them how I used to live in Ireland and how I tripped over a homeless man and broke my leg. And it was horrible. But that's where we are in the story so far. So my manager, she was telling me how, she was like, don't like look at the kids crazy, don't judge them. She was like, kind of just sniff everything out first, and then she was like, the more that you get to know them, the more that they'll open up to you and they'll listen to you. And so my first day, it was just me being observant, me getting to know the kids. They was asking me questions about America. They was just like, why is y'all refrigerator so big? Why is everybody so big and huffing around, huffing and puffing around at the grocery store? She said, what, how? So we was so for those of y'all, I'm gonna just back it up a little bit, but pretty much long story short, when we got to Ireland, we had kind of like, it was like a person of contact who was responsible for all like the Americans that came and had internships, because all the Americans, they didn't come from my school. Like we were all living in different states, but we all had one representative for America. And then the Russians had, oh, and you missed it how I said the Russian girls was, we got in a fight with the Russian girls. But the Russians, they had like their point of contact and stuff. And so our point of contact, he was like, I want y'all to do a dry run. He was like, y'all all start work on Monday. I want y'all to do a dry run and go find where you're going to be working at. And so in Ireland, they did have taxis, they did have Ubers and stuff, but they were really, really expensive. So he was like, the cheapest way is to get a monthly bus pass, download the app, and just kind of figure it out on the bus. And so I was like, if I take the bus, I'm going to take it with my two roommates, because I had two other roommates. And I got to tell y'all a story about them too. But so they was just like me and one roommate. It was like one of my roommates, she got off of the bus first. Then the second roommate, like we were all going in the same direction, but one would get off first, the other one would get off, and my stop was the last stop because my job was in the hood of Dublin. And so when it was time for me to get off the bus, I had got off the bus and I'm trying to get my bearings together. I don't know whether to go right. I don't know whether to go left. So I just get off the bus and I just start walking, and I didn't look down to know that it was a homeless man down laying on the floor, but it looked like a sack of sandbags. I didn't know it was a homeless man. So I tripped over him. I fell on the floor or whatever. And then he finally ripped the covers off of him and he was like, "You son of a bitch," or whatever. And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you was a whole person laying on a freaking floor." And so I had to call up my point of contact or whatever. And he was just like, okay, he was just like, "I'm gonna send you a hospital." Y'all, I found a yellow. It's kind of like a bright yellow, but I'm gonna just blend it in with the green. But he was like, "I'm going to send you a hospital that you can go to that's nearest to you." We had to have insurance since we were out of the country, and we were international students. So we had to have insurance for this program. And so, I took a Uber. Like, I didn't have to pay for the Uber. He paid for it because like I literally could not walk. Like, I got up and I was just like limping, like I wasn't going anywhere. So he paid for my Uber to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital. He met me there, and then they did x-rays, and they was like, "Your leg, my right ankle was fractured in 3 different places." So they put me in a removable cast and they put me on crutches. So not only is it my second or third day living in Ireland, but now I'm living in Ireland walking around and bouncing around on crutches. Like, I could not do anything for myself. Like, I had to give my roommates money so they can go grocery shopping for me. The only thing that I did was I would go to all of the team dinners and all that type of stuff, but that was about it. Like, I couldn't do nothing, and everybody had went to work. Like, they started work, but the doctor didn't clear me to start work. He was like, "You're gonna have to sit out for a week or two or whatever, and at least get a little bit healed," because my main transportation was walking and taking a bus. And he was like, I can't have you walking on your leg or whatever, and it's fractured." So I would say the first week or two that I was living in Ireland, like, I was extremely, extremely depressed, and I was homesick because I couldn't hang out with nobody. I couldn't go to the clubs with everybody or whatever. Like, I literally had to stay at home all day. But eventually the doctor did clear me to go to work. And then my first day of work, the kids was looking at me stupid because not only am I American, but now I'm an American showing up here and their face on crutches. So, so that's where we are in the story now. And then while I'm gonna just stop right here just so y'all can kind of see like photos and stuff of me in Ireland. I think I got photos of where I actually worked. But them kids was bad. Like, they was lighting up cigarettes, they was smoking weed, they was selling drugs, all over the place or whatever. But eventually they warmed up to me, and they grew on me. And then they wasn't even doing that bad when I left or whatever. I don't know how they doing now. But when I first started off with them, they was bad. Some girls was, pregnant, and they're like middle school and high schoolers and stuff. So it was definitely an interesting job or whatever. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, and I'll show y'all my St. Patty's Day outfit as well. Cause for one, I look crazy, but okay, so this was me living in Ireland. So this was me when I was first on a plane going to Ireland, and then I was talking to them about the food, Brielle, how I came home, I lost a lot of weight because they didn't really have like a lot of food. So this was like their food. Like they would have like fresh salmon. They would have like, everything would just be fresh. So that was like a little bit about their food. And y'all, I look a mess, don't judge me. But this was me when I was there. And I think I was on my way to work or something like that. And it was cold as hell. And then they love Guinness, so you had to have like Guinness. And then this was one of my roommates here. I can't stay logged on. My phone about to die is at 14%, and then I have to cook. Okay, no problem, Natasha, you're good. This was one of my roommates here. Her name was Sam, and I think she lived in Pennsylvania, and then I forgot her name. I think her name was Grace, but me and her became really, really close. Me and Sam was kind of close, but said that she didn't like that I snored, and I didn't even know I snored or whatever. But yeah, this was just me living in Ireland. I used to braid the girls' hair. So this was me like braiding all the Irish girls' hair. And so I would have to pick them up from school, and some of them I would walk home or whatever, but I had braided their hair. This was some of us out for drinks. And this was my manager there or whatever. And then, y'all, I look crazy as hell, but this was when I was in the St. Patty's Day parade. How long were you there? I was there from January to April. And then here go me in the St. Patrick's Day parade. Well, actually, they call it St. Patty's Day parade. And then everything was turned green for like St. Patty's Day. Like everything was turned green. Y'all, I look bad. I apologize now because this was when I went through the big chop. And I came there with weave in my hair. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to just wash my hair and then find me a hair store. Y'all, didn't find no hair store. So for the remaining of 2 months, 2 months, I was looking like this, looking crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. Ain't had no hair store, no beauty supply store, no nothing. But yeah, this was my time in Ireland. And then these are the cliffs that I was telling y'all about that they filmed at Harry Potter. And if you jump, I didn't go to the end like them. I was like, y'all go ahead and go to the end. I'll take a picture. The wind started blowing the wrong way, so Grace hurried up and ran back. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping my slat black happy ass back here. I'll take y'all pictures because if you fall over that, they said you will die mid-air. I didn't sign up or go over there to die. I still had a life that I wanted to live. So I just took pictures, but I stayed over here. I didn't go to the end like how they did. Baby, I stayed close. Black people. Okay, this is mostly on the edge to that I got, but even still I was scared half to death. But yeah, these cliffs were in the Harry Potter movie. But I was just mad they ain't had no hair store. This was when I got my tattoo. Y'all, I look so much of a mess. I can't believe I'm even showing this. But this was when I got my tattoo, and it was by a really, really famous Irish like tattoo artist or whatever. And I think I only paid like 75 American dollars for my tattoo. But yeah. And then this was a photo of, so this was their hood. Like this was the hood or whatever. And this was me like just taking pictures to and from work. I wouldn't have been up there at all, okay? And then my manager, oh, this was my job. So this was, I had to come up with programs for the kids or whatever. And then I had to, when it was time for them to get out of school, I would have to go to the school because they all was like, all their schools was like within that hood or whatever, like it was like the middle school to high schools. So I would come up, I would do my planning or whatever, because I had to come up with programs for them to do. So it was pretty much like a after school program for badass kids. And so I would sit here, I would do my lesson plans, I would go and get them from school. We would do their homework and all that type of stuff, and then we would go over lesson plan. Like I would teach them about sex, I would teach them about smoking, I would teach them about drugs, like as far as what it can do for you. I had to come up with games and all that type of stuff. So we did that here. And then they did have an upstairs, and they had different parts of the center as well, but this was just like the main part of the center. And then like I said, we would sit when we were done all of that or whatever, I would sit and sometimes do their hair if we had time. But yeah. Oh, see, this was like, I don't know, I think this was when we went to go visit another part of Ireland or whatever, because we went to Titanic and all that type of stuff. So yeah. So, in all, did you enjoy your time there? Yeah, I was gonna say after my leg healed or whatever, I enjoyed my time because then I was able to like go out to the clubs. I was able to have drinks or whatever with everybody else. Like I was able to do more stuff, but like for the first month, I was just really, really depressed. I would like text my mom every single day, all day, because I didn't have nobody to talk to, and everybody was out doing them. And then on top of that, like I was the only black female. So that was kind of hard to take in too, because it was very, it wasn't a lot of black people over there. I can tell you that. And that's to be expected. But damn, I would have at least thought they would have had a hair store. But and all the black people that I did see, they all had their hair and braids and stuff like that. So it was like a culture difference. But all in all, once I got out of that funk, because at the end of the day, ain't like nobody made me go over there. Like I signed up to go over there, I did the research to want to go over there. So I had to make the best of it. So once I finally got out of that funk and was able to enjoy everything, that's when I can finally say that, I had the time of my life. Culture shock. Yes, girl, the food was the culture shock. Not having no hair store was the culture shock. Even just drinking, because the drinking age over there is 18 or whatever. Like it was just a culture shock. Like everywhere I would walk, my eyebrows was raised. Not in a good way, but just more so like, wow. Like, and then it wasn't no crime over there. Nobody was allowed to carry guns or whatever. Like, they only the military could carry guns. Like, they thought it was crazy how they was like, why do y'all Americans always carry guns? And I was like, y'all ain't got no guns over here. Oh no, hey Aaron. I was like, y'all ain't got no guns over here. And they was just like, no, the only people who are allowed to have guns is military people. And I actually wish that that was the same here in America or whatever, because they didn't really have a lot of crime over there. The most crime that they would have would be fights, a lot of bar fights, because the drinking age was so young. So it would just be a lot of bar fights or whatever. As far as what I seen, I did see a lot of fights. I definitely see, but it was so, in Dublin, it was just so much to do. All right, Natasha girl, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I'll see you later. But yeah, it was just so much to do, whether it would be like touristy stuff, museums. Like we went to a lot of different museums. We went to like different like famous colleges or whatever. Like it was just such a beautiful experience or whatever, that I feel like even with me being there for 3 months, like that was not long enough at all. So I definitely want to go back and visit for sure. And I felt bad because the kids, when I had to leave my kids or whatever, I just built such a good relationship with them. And they was just like, every time y'all Americans come over here, like, y'all don't never come back. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna come back. And I ain't been back. But that's why I was just like, no, I definitely gotta make it my business to go back. But I want to go back when it's warm, because when I was living over there, it was so cold, and I do not like the cold. And then right when I was leaving, I left early April. Thank you, Aaron. I left early April, and that's when it was getting warm. Why was your time so short? It was because we didn't have a visa. So some girls, they actually did stay, but I didn't have a visa, so the max amount of time that I can be in Ireland without a visa was the time that I was there. Like I was literally, like, they was about to kick us out. And this was for all of us. Like the majority of us left, and then I would say about 5 or 6 girls, they stayed, but they did their research to get a visa so they could stay a little bit longer. And I think they stayed until it was time for them to graduate college. But then on top of that, they had to find their own housing. They had to find paying jobs or whatever that would hire Americans. And baby, I wasn't about to do all that. Like, I miss my family, I miss my friends. So 3 months was the max that I could be over there. Like, I could not be over there a day later than what I was. So yeah. But if I got a visa, I could have stayed longer. Yeah. So but and it was so funny, Brielle, because when my mom picked me up from the airport or whatever, she was like, "Ooh, child," and y'all saw the pictures of me. I was a chubby girl, but baby, when I came back, I think I dropped like maybe like 50 pounds or whatever. I think I lost 50 pounds because we did so much walking. Like my mother didn't even recognize me. She was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Ma, they don't like they had girl, I miss my mama now." Oh, well, don't she live in not Pensacola, but what's the other place called? It's probably time for you to go over there and visit. But but yeah, so what was I saying? Oh, when I came back, she was just like, she didn't even recognize me because I had lost so much weight. Oh, 5 hours ain't nothing to sneeze at. 5 hours, I'm damn near halfway to Atlanta. But that's your mom, so, 5 hours ain't nothing when it comes to your mom. You get to have your mommy every day. Yes, I know. And I don't want to take it for granted, even though sometimes my mother we both get on each other nerves or whatever. And I be wanting to be on my own and stuff, but I definitely want to enjoy my mom while I have her. So I understand that for sure. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people wish they had their mom every day. So yeah. No, I totally get it. But yeah, it might be time for you to take a visit or have her. Is she able to come and visit you? Because I know sometimes, I know from the last time you told me, and I'm not trying to, put it out on here, but is she able to come and come and visit you? I be so lonely here. Oh, especially when I know the girls go to school and stuff. Oh, she's coming in March. Okay, so she coming next month. Good. I be like, "Ma, stay as long as you please." It ain't nothing like your mother is. I feel like cause when I lived in Florida by myself, it's way different than like me living here with my mom now. Like when I was living in Florida by myself when I initially moved down, even though I have family here or whatever, technically is not my family, like it's my best friend family, so I don't have any blood relatives here. So it felt way different living here without any blood relatives versus now, like I feel kind of like safer, if that makes sense. Like I just feel like everything is okay now that I live here with my mom. And I was just so like, I don't know, like I just feel like I ever since I've been living back with my mom, like my life has really changed. Because for one, she don't even be playing all that everything that I was doing when I was living by myself. She wouldn't even be having that here. And granted, I'm grown, but she don't be playing that disrespect and all that type of stuff. Like when it come to like, cause in my own apartment, you know, I would have liquor and all that type of stuff, but I can't do that here. Yes, safe. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I feel safe now that that my mom lived here with me in Florida. Yes, it's hard with no family. Yeah, I was gonna say and you know, if I was having issues and stuff like that, I would call my best friend family, but at the end of the day, they not obligated to, you know, because that's my best friend family. And even though I've known them since I was, you know, a child, since I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, they still not obligated or whatever. And then my cousin, at one point in time, my cousin, he moved from Atlanta and he moved here in Tampa. And but even though that's my cousin, like it still don't feel the same as like your mom, you know? Because he moved down with his girlfriend and it's like he was, you know, that's when he started his family here because he moved down with his girlfriend and she had a daughter. So it's like, you know, even though he my cousin and stuff like that, I'm not going to really be calling on him like that either because he moving down here with his girlfriend and then she got a daughter. Thank God your mother is still living. Yes, I was just telling me and my mom was just talking yesterday how um she never met her parents because they passed, like her mother passed, I want to say after she had her or whatever, and her father had passed too, and my mother was like a real baby when they passed, so she never even had a chance to have a relationship with her own parents. I've noticed that the older I get, the more I want her around. Yeah, I was gonna say, only thing with my mother is I don't need her to treat me like I'm still 5. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing. Like with parents, you gotta learn when to have an adult relationship with your adult kids. Like I don't need my mother to tell me how to cut up an onion. I don't need her to stand over top of me when I'm cutting up an onion. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't need that type of relationship now that I'm a woman. Like I need you to be there for me mentally and emotionally. Like I don't need nobody to like baby me, you know? That's the only issue I be having. Like I don't like to be babied or whatever. Like I'm gonna be knocking on 40's door soon. So I don't need that or whatever. Like it's a difference. And I know a lot of parents, cause you're a parent too, Brielle, and I'm not, but I feel like a lot of parents, they have to learn how to have an adult relationship with their adult kids. Like that's not Yeah, that's always going to be your baby, but she not a baby, you know, or he not a baby. Hey, Alvira. And I be realizing that it be hard for parents to understand that. But are you getting ready for work? No, I'm not getting ready for work. Today I had scheduled a St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial just to show you guys or whatever. Just because St. Patrick's Day is coming up and because I had the opportunity to live in Ireland, I just kind of wanted to share like my story with you guys on my experience on living in a different country, specifically Ireland. Because I had the opportunity to live there for 3 months. You know me as Study Sense. Oh, hey, Study Sense. Yes. Why y'all be changing y'all names up? And then y'all don't change y'all names. Like, you ain't put like Essence. Y'all do a drastic change. Like with me, if I change my name, I would put like Empress 2.0 or something like that. Y'all change y'all name drastically. But no, it's okay. Hope you have an amazing day. Thank you. Yeah, I was gonna say this is just in honor of, because I know we're still in February and stuff, but in March, I probably won't be able to do my St. Patrick's Day makeup tutorial just because I'll be on my cruise, and then I do have a lot of personal stuff that is going on right now. So I just wanted to, just stay on top of the season, stay on top of the trends. Yeah, this is my second channel. That's why. Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, y'all be drastically changing y'all name. Oh, your real name is Alvera? That's so busy. I mean, I said that's so busy because I'm reading Brielle. I'm reading Brielle message. My bad. That's so pretty, Alvera. That's a pretty name. Have you been busy? Um, I would say I'm all well, for one, I'm always busy or whatever. Valentine's weekend I was really busy or whatever, but I just have a lot going on like personally that I'm praying over or whatever. So it's just I usually when I go through a lot like mentally or whatever, like I shut down. Like I'm not the type of person, well, let me not say I'm not the type of person. I don't want to be the type of person that shuts down, but I do, like, especially if it's something heavy on me or whatever, like I shut down because I gotta pray about it, and then it just be weighing heavy on me and all that type of stuff. Ha ha ha. See what's going on. What's going on, Aaron? What you know that I don't know? So, cause I know my family and stuff be trying to reach out to me, but I don't know. I just feel like when I be going through a lot of stuff, like I just don't be wanting to talk. The only person I be wanting to talk to is God, cause I feel like that's the only person that's gonna help me through the situation. But and then when you talk to people, sometimes people will trauma dump on you, and then you already got a lot going on yourself, and then it just sends me into a depressive state. So yeah, so I just been going through a lot as far as in my personal life, which I'm trying to enjoy next month, but everything that's going to be happening will be happening next month. So I'm gonna try to enjoy it, but I am very, very concerned about what I got going on. All right, y'all. So, is there hot or cold? I'm just having fun. Tampa is hot. Yes, Tampa is hot, but today is cold. Yeah, today is kind of chilly, but I think it's warming up. Yes, I understand. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, girl, I know you understand. If anything, we be holding each other hand. We be holding each other hand. So it's just like, and we'll get through it, but it's like the getting through it part be hard. You know what I mean? Like, and you try to think positive about things or whatever, and I'm thinking positive about things, but I'm also very, very nervous, and I'm very, very concerned. Yeah, it's supposed to be a cold front or something coming on, because I know everywhere else said they have snow or something going on. They got snow, and I know in Canada they said it's a blizzard going on outside and stuff. So yeah, we got a cold front, but I can deal with that all day long. All right, y'all, so I'm going to try this green liner. I haven't used it yet, but I'm gonna use it now. It ain't really giving what it need to give. I've been trying to just pour into myself and my goals, but it gets hard when you have other worries. Yeah, and I was gonna say, usually with me, I definitely try to do the same thing, but it's always, how it's always that something, whatever you going through, it just be nagging you. Like, it's like I can be happy, I can smile and stuff like that, but in the back of my head, I'm just trying to figure out what to do or whatever. And it's like, even with when I pour into myself, like I said, what I got going on is gonna be happening in March. So it's like I'm trying to prepare myself for the unknown. And I'm just like, Lord, please. It's cold as hell here in Texas now. That's how you know it's cold. When it's cold in Florida and cold in Texas, like, that's how you know it's cold. This don't look too bad. You just got to do a couple of... Okay, but in India, summer is coming that I love. Yes, Jesus, take the wheel. Yes, I'm telling you, Jesus, please take my wheel. Please. And please don't, because God, he'll teach you some lessons or whatever. I don't want to learn any more lessons. I don't want to learn any more lessons, Lord. Like, I just want it to be a point in time. I want a good solid year where I ain't got to learn no lesson. And I don't want the lesson to be so traumatic, because I was listening to a TikTok, and he was like, when you ask God for something, he always give you a lesson. But I'm not asking because I want to learn a lesson. I'm asking because I want you to work some miracles, Lord. He was saying something like, when you ask him for wisdom, he'll give you a situation on something. And if you ask him for more money, he give you this situation. And if you ask him for discernment, he'll give you a situation where you got to use discernment. I don't want that. Like, God, I'm tired of being right. Why? Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. And they talk about some um God is your friend. How? When he just threw me to the fire because I said I wanted I said, Lord, please bless my pockets and put protection over my finances. And next thing you know, I turn around and get scammed. Literally, I prayed that prayer, and the next day I got scammed. I'm looking up at the Lord. I said, Lord, what was that? I be I be fussing with him, and I know he be up and laughing at me or whatever, but I be fussing at him. I be like, now what was that? Shoot. Dang. Like, everything don't gotta be a lesson. I said protect my finances. Well, I guess he like, well, you should have used discernment. I said protect them. Dang. Child. It's okay. Like they say, this too shall pass. I'd be like dialing his right. If I had his phone number, I'd be tearing that phone line up. I'd be tearing that phone line up because how you going to just do that? No, I don't want. I don't want to be strong. I just wanted the situation to be right. God does things for a reason, not for a season. I know, but I ain't gotta keep learning the lesson from out of it. Dang. I don't want to learn no lessons no more. At least just give me one good year. Like I said, just give me one solid year where I ain't gotta learn no lesson no more. That's all I'm asking for. One solid year. And then after that, maybe give me sprinkle in a little lesson or two. But dang. And it seems like we all be feeling that. God, don't take my money. Right, don't take my money. I literally got on my hands and knees. I said, Lord, I'm asking you to protect my finances. I'm trying to, please give me a sign on how I can make more money. And then the next day, they talking about hi, my name is, we from Lorvay, and we overcharged you and we trying to give you a refund. And then I look up and I get scammed. Like, Lord, what was that? You already know I'm over here pinching pennies. Like, what was that? And I be obedient. I be like, Lord, I don't even like to drink like that anymore. I ain't doing half of the things I used to do. I ain't at the club in and out anymore. I'm like, then why you did that to me? Why you did that to me? That's why I could never like be a scammer, or I could never be like, because I know like they be like, oh well, people be like, oh well, karma, what they say about karma's a bitch and all that other type of stuff. It may not come this lifetime, it'll come, no, mine, if I do something wrong, mine's is coming this lifetime. If anything, is coming the next day. Like mine, like for me, God don't wait no lifetime when, if I'm doing wrong, if I'm being disobedient. Like he's gonna give me my karma either that day or the next day. I remember when I was really ruthless, y'all. When I was ruthless, like I was slick at the mouth. I was talking to anybody any type of way or whatever. I got humbled real quick just because I was going through a lot in my life. That was the time where I was living on my own and I had eviction notices on the door or whatever. But this lady, I was on lunch break, on my hour lunch break, and me and one of my co-workers, we decided to go to, like, we like to run our errands. We like to get lunch and run our errands on our lunch break. So we went to the dollar store and I was getting stuff for the house, like paper plates and all that type of stuff. And me and her was having a conversation, and we could tell that the lady behind us, she was like strung out on drugs or something like that. Being a child of God ain't for the weak. It sure ain't, because he be, on another note, we know the devil be like, child. And see, that's the thing we gotta remember. That's the thing, because he hears our prayers too. But so what happened was, so on my lunch break, we knew that the lady who was standing behind us in the line at the dollar store, like we could kind of tell that she was strung out on drugs, but I didn't know she was that crazy, because when I was talking to my friend Shayla, having a conversation with her, next thing you know, she jumps in my face and she was like, I didn't say da 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 da. Like she literally jumps in my face and inserted herself in our conversation. And we wasn't, of course, we wasn't even talking about her. We was talking about what we had going on, but in the corner of our eye, like you know how you make eye contact with your friend, we both looked, and then we looked at each other just to let each other know we're aware of what's going on behind us. But of course we didn't speak on it because it's happening right behind us. Like this lady was literally strung out on drugs, but she had me fucked up when she jumped in my face and started talking crazy in my face. And I think I think I was buying a pan or a hammer or something like that. But next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, lady, you got me effed up or whatever." Because I was like, "I will hit you right across right across your head with this hammer or whatever." And next thing you know, the dollar store associate, because I was like this, the dollar store associate ran quickly behind me, snatched. It was either a hammer or a frying pan or something like that. She snatched it out of my hand so I wouldn't hit that old lady, because I was gonna hit that old lady. Like, don't play with me. And this was back in my I'ma hit you first type of days. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and talk and argue with you. Like, I'ma just hit you. Like, I'm not the type person that's gonna threaten to hit you. I'ma just do it. And even still, like, this is me working at a corporate job and I'm on my lunch break. Y'all, so the lady took the frying pan from out my hand. And then the lady was still talking trash. She was like, "Oh, you lucky she took that frying pan." Next thing you know, I pushed that lady into the chips and she fell. Her whole coochie and everything was hanging out because she was wearing a dress. I pushed her and I was like, "Don't fucking play with me. Don't fucking play with me." Like, literally going off. I was like, "I'm not the one. You don't know me like that. Like, I'm not from Tampa. Like, don't play with me like that." Like, y'all, this was back in my go get 'em days. Okay. Like, talk to anybody any type of way. Like, did not care, whatever. And so that I told that old lady she got the wrong one. And so after that, she knew not to play with me or whatever. And she was having her other strung out friend trying to help her out. And they was like, "You didn't have to do that." Yes, her whole coochie was hanging out. And my friend told me her whole coochie was hanging out. And she said it looked like roast beef. And I was like, "Pew." But she was like, "Yes." And so after that, the store associate ended up calling the police or whatever. And I was like, "Well, I don't need these problems or whatever. I'm literally on my lunch break or whatever." And I was like, "I ain't got time for no police." So we hurried up and we ran up out of there. And then got some food and just went back to work or whatever. And so literally after that, oh, and I'm telling y'all the story because what happened was the next day my mother she took the bus and she came to Tampa to come and visit me. And I picked her up and this all happened. I think I had picked her up the next day on my lunch break. She dropped me back off at work and then she took my car. I gave her the house key. I gave her the car key and she did what she needed to do before it was time for her to pick me back up at 6. Y'all, why when she picked me up at 6, I was like, "Oh, I'll drive home," because it was rush hour. I know how to get around and all that type of stuff. And so I was driving home. And then next thing you know, I hit a huge pothole. Didn't see it, busted out all the tires in the car. Busted out all, all the tires in the car. What could you look like? Baby, she was like she was kind of like you know how them, I don't even mean no harm, but you know how Caucasian people, when they age, they get all wrinkly and stuff like that. So I think it was just like saggy and wrinkly and stuff like that. But yes, y'all, I was driving, had my mother in the passenger seat on our way home. And mind y'all, this was the next day after I pushed the lady in the chips or whatever, pushed her on the floor and was about to hit her upside the head with a frying pan. This was the next day. My karma does not wait until the next lifetime. Like, God is going to give me my karma right then and there. He gave it to me the next day because now all 4 of my tires is blown out. And not only that, they got blown out, and we was on East Martin Luther King Street. You know, anything East Martin Luther King Street is always the hood. It don't matter if you in Nevada. It don't matter if you in Florida. It don't matter if you in Baltimore. Baltimore got a East Martin Luther King Street. Baby, you are in the hood. All four tires blown straight on out. Wait, what was mom doing when all the time she was in the passenger seat, so she was just like, like, trying to hold on and screaming and hollering and stuff like that. And then she was just like, I got frustrated because, like I said, my anger, I didn't know how to control my anger. Like, that was something that I had to learn how to do. And mind you, I was kind of like still in like my mid 20s, like late 20s type of thing or whatever. So I always had anger problems. Even as a child, I always had anger problems. So I would say now I have a little bit of a short fuse, but I definitely have more patience than what I did back in the day. But she was just like, trying to trying to hold on or whatever. And then I think I was dating a guy. Yeah, I was dating my first love at the time. I called him, of course, and he was just like, okay. So the man that I was dating at that time, I don't know if he was a scammer. I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know. It's so funny to hear these stories because I had one similar child, just a mess. Life was a mess. Um, I don't know. I don't remember if my ex was a scammer. He was somewhat of like, he wasn't a scammer to the point where he would take people money and like, well, then again, I honestly don't know. I never knew what he did. Like, to be honest with you, I never knew what he did, but he knew a lot of people that knew people or whatever. So I called him and he was like, okay. He was like, I'm about to pay, I forgot, it was somebody. He was like, I'm about to pay this guy $100 or whatever, and he's gonna come and change all four of your tires. I was like, okay, cool. Y'all, this man pulled up, and see, my ex, he was known for hanging out with, like, not hanging out, but he was just like, people that he would associate himself with, they were all kind of like, they were like ran down looking. Like, they were ran down looking. They were some of them would have teeth missing. It's always sketchy, very sketchy. But I'm not going to say what he was on here, but he was who he was. And people would do stuff for him in order for them to get a discount, if you know what I mean. So people would do stuff for him in order for them to get some type of a discount. So this guy, he worked on cars. He knew how to do cars or whatever. So he was just like, I'm gonna pay him $100 just so he can replace all four of your tires or whatever, and then y'all be good. So he was working on a car at that time, so we had to wait for like an hour for him, because we was on the side of the road in the hood, and then the sun started going down, and where we broke down at, it was like a whole bunch of like, it was like people was having like a cookout. And then my mother, she was calling him, I was calling him. I was like, listen, is homeboy coming pretty soon? Because when the sun go down, or he was a sugar daddy. No, I was gonna say honestly, I can't tell you what the man was, but at least at that time for me, he wasn't a sugar daddy. He was, I don't want to say what he was on here, because I'm not trying to, for one, tell all his business, and then for two, I don't want to get flagged. But like I said, people would do things for him at a low cost or for free because they wanted to get a discount on products. I'm gonna just say it like that. So use your imagination to figure out what he did. or sold. But so yeah. Well, Aaron wasn't getting it. Right. So yeah, so the guy finally pulls up. He pulls up in this raggedy truck. It had a whole bunch of tires on it, thank God, or whatever. He was a Caucasian guy. Y'all, when I tell you, we smelled his funk first before he even got out the truck. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, Ma, do you smell that smell? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I don't know where it's coming from. And we didn't know where it was coming from because he was still in the truck. And when he got out of that truck, that smell got stronger and stronger and stronger. Next thing you know, he was like, "Oh, I'm such and such sent me here." He was saying my ex or whatever, and he was like, he told me that y'all needed help. And then me and my mother, we standing like this. And for some odd reason, Caucasian people, and I don't mean no harm if like some of y'all ain't here Caucasian or whatever, but for some odd reason, when Caucasian people be talking to you, they want to get closer and closer and closer to you. Meanwhile, we backing up, backing up, backing up. And it's like the more we backed up, the closer he kept coming, and we're like, no, you stop there. We're back here. And we're like this because the man stunk so bad. And it's like, no, he smelled worse than wet dog. He smelled like wet dog that has been like rotting or whatever. He smelled like wet dog that has been marinating for a while. Like the smell, the underarms was wet. Like how some people and mind you, like I get it, like men, when y'all work up under cars or when y'all working on houses, construction and all that type of stuff, I know that people stink, but my ex, he was a painter. He was always painting. He was always doing stuff with his hands. Sometimes he would come home covered in paint, but he never, I could never smell him. Like even though he was handy, he ain't never smelled like nothing like this before. And so this man stunk, and we was just like, listen, if you can just change all, and we're standing like this. We was just like, listen, if you could just change all four of them tires. And we're holding in our breath because he smelled so bad. We're like, listen, if you can change all four of them tires, we'll be good. We'll be. He was like, okay, I'll change all four of them tires. So while he's cranking up everything, while he's getting everything prepared or whatever, the people that was across the way having a party, they saw that we was broke down because we ain't never got out the car or anything. So some black guy came over, and he was just like, as he was coming over, because they was in the house, and they wasn't in the house, but they was like around the house, but they had a big front yard or whatever. So I guess the black guy was just like, oh well, let me go help that white guy. He was like walking up towards us, and he was like, hey, I can help you, talking to the guy that's changing the tires just to speed up the process because it was getting late. He was like, hey, I can help you. And then as closer as he got, the man stopped. And next thing you know, he started walking back. I would have a can of Lysol or some bleach. He needed more. Like, the smell was just, I can't, a smell like that, I can't forget because I've never smelt someone so damn bad. I never smelled someone so damn bad to where you smell them before they even get out the truck. Like you smell them before. And then the fact that the black man started getting closer and closer and closer, asking if he can help. And then the white guy was just like, yeah, yeah, waving him on. But he's so far coming up the yard that as soon as he smelled that smell, he was walking his ass back. And then like he wasn't helping no more. He ain't said nothing. He ain't say, "Oh, never mind, my wife calling." He ain't said nothing. He just turned around and walked back, and we ain't never seen that man ever again. So, while the guy was changing the tires, like my mom and my ex at the time, they were really close. Like she had his number, he had her number. So we stood off to the side while the man was changing the tires. My mother was so pissed. She called up my man at the time and was like, who the hell did you bring to help us change these tires? She was like, he stinks to the highest of the heavens. Damn, that's messed up. That was days of not washing his rig. He stinking. Literally. Literally. I mean, I know his balls was just, oh! And so my mother, she called my ex up and pretty much cursed him out. And he was like, yeah, but he was like, he was only $100. He kept saying, yeah, but he was only $100. We give a damn about that $100. That man stunk. And then on top of that, towards the end, he wanted to give us a hug. We said, no, we not doing that. We don't do no hugs. We don't do no hugs. Like I've never in my life smelt someone that bad. Right? Literally when he came, like when he was done or whatever, we was like, oh, thank you so much or whatever, showing our gratitude, showing our appreciation. That I guess he thought that meant like we wanted a hug. We said, we not doing that. Me and my mother both jumped back. I think we was holding each other. We was like, oh, no, we not doing that. No. And so, but yeah, that was just my short little story to tell y'all how, like, God, I can never be a bad person because he won't let me. He's gonna give me my karma the next day or the following day and all that type of stuff. So that's why I try to find it in my heart to be a good person. But I feel like it's us good people that's always, I don't know. Child, I've never, like, I've been in women's bathrooms and they be funky and all that type of stuff, but this was a different type of level of funk. Like, not only was it festering in his skin funk, but it was like it was in his clothes. Like I feel like this was a funk that washer and dryer can't fix. Like soap and water, like he would have to lay and soak in a bathtub. Like you just can't take no shower with this type of funk. Like you have to soak in the bathtub, soak it out of your pores. Oh hell no, I don't want no odor around. Exactly, nobody want no odor around. And like I said, some men, like my ex, he was painting the house. He was outside all day. He was sweating and stuff like that. And I've never smelt him because he takes showers on the regular. He, clip his nails. He get his toes cleaned and all that type of stuff. So I've never smelt. He'll come home looking sweaty, but he never smelt like how he looked. You know what I mean? Like, and he's a man. And even if he did smell a little musky or whatever, like it would have been okay because he's working outside or whatever. Like he power washes stuff. He'll replace one. Like he was a typical like handy guy or whatever. And But I never smelt him musky. Like, he was very big on his hygiene and all that type of stuff. So even when he came home from work, he ain't had no smell. So this really threw me off, because I'm just like, it's okay to smell musky, but to smell like, just to smell like rotten wet dog is crazy. It's crazy. But but yeah, y'all. And luckily I never smelt like that, or I never smelt anyone like that since then or whatever. And if I have, like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. But like, the moral of this story, even though we was talking about the men stinking, like, the moral of this story is, like, I just feel like bad things happen to good people, and I still be sitting up here trying to understand why or whatever. Like, it be a whole bunch of scammers out there and all that type of stuff, and I just really don't understand why, like, bad things always happen to good people. So that's the moral of my story. We had a guy like that in the military. Some guys took him and scrubbed him down with wire brushes and poured lemon juice on him. After that time, that guy took showers. But he should have been taking showers every day. Like, these is grown people. They put showers and stuff in the house for a reason. Like, these is grown people, grown men. And then the thing that be crazy to me is always some woman laid up under them. Like, it be women who would be laid up under that man. Like, that's why I be so shocked and confused, because these be the people. Just like one girl was telling me how somebody at the job, she said she only take baths like 2 and 3 days out of the week, and she got a whole entire man. Like, I'd be so confused. That's why I'm like, bad things be happening to good people, because what the hell? Like, how do you have a man laid up under you and you only take baths 3 times a week? So you nasty and he nasty. So two nasty people just laid up in the bed like two skinless chickens bumping, and that's nasty and trifling. Just nasty. They don't care. And it's like, how do you not smell each other? Like, even when I was in a relationship, like I said, this was my first person that I was like living with and stuff like that, and he would make me like, and granted, adults should do this anyway, but before anything got on and popping, him, especially him, for me, he'd be like, you gonna have to go. Granted, I don't need nobody telling me anything, but before anything got on and popping, like, he'd be like, you gonna have to go and take a bath first. Like, so they like, not they like the smell. No. But yeah, because it could be weird, like, and I worked in the office or whatever, so it ain't like I'm working outside and I smelled sweaty and all this other type of stuff. But if I got home and, like, he wanted it to be on and popping, it wouldn't just be on and popping. Like, he would be like, you gonna have to go and take a bath. Like, that's what he would tell me or whatever. Not that I needed him to tell me, but some people, they just would have got it on and popping or whatever. Because like I said, I worked in the office. It ain't like, I was stank, but that's just how he was. And I wouldn't never put up a fight or whatever, but I would say the same to him. Yes, in some cultures, that's what draws them to you. No, what culture is this? No. Because I know we all got pheromones and stuff, but the pheromones ain't supposed to be stank. Is it? like I know like, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, racist or anything like that. I'm just, you know, just having a conversations because I know some Indian women for some odd reason, like a lot of them do be smelling musky, and sometimes it's, I remember me and my coworker, we both had to hide in the back because we didn't, and I hate to say it, but it was like I was afraid to, I'm gonna just use that word, I was afraid to help them because it's but so long, and we not wearing no mask no more, but it's but so long I can hold my breath. And I feel like if you around other people, like, for one, how do you not smell yourself? Right, no deodorant, they don't use it. But why? Because even with me, I use aluminum free deodorant. Now, granted, if you're using an aluminum free deodorant, like, you do have to let your underarms purge or whatever. So I did go through like a funky stage because I was letting my underarms purge, because I can't use aluminum free deodorant and then go back. I can't go back and forth between the two, and I really wanted to switch to using clean ingredients for my skin. um and I've noticed a difference with my underarms or whatever, because I would get ingrown hairs, it would be red, it would be irritated. So I switched to aluminum free deodorant, and I've been using that for the past 3 years. So I already went through that funk stage. But is it because they don't want the products? Like, do they can't use aluminum in their deodorant is why they don't use it? Because baby, they make aluminum free deodorant. Is that the reason why? Because I feel like, and then on top of that, they be married. They be having men, and I'm just like, why out of everything in the world can't they use deodorant? Like, I found this out when I was younger and gave a foreign person hygiene products and they were offended. Ooh, but why was they offended? So they don't wash or nothing at all. Cuban said, wow. Right, this is all new to me too, Cuban. This is all new to me too, because I'm like, they said it wasn't part. Hold on, wearing deodorant wasn't part of the culture, or just washing in general wasn't a part. And who died and made this a rule? Like, I'm trying to understand. Washing and hygiene should be a part of everybody's culture. Actually, it should be illegal. There should be a hygiene police out there, um giving people tickets if they not washing. In my opinion, the scent she has draws the man. Funk. Hold on. So Cuban, Aaron, funk is what draw y'all to women? Somebody help me, please. Funk. Hey, Glam. Please, not the natural. Please wear. I do wear deodorant. What you talking about? I just said I wear deodorant. I just wear the aluminum free deodorant because I feel like the aluminum was turning my they wash but don't mess their natural. I don't like that. Cause must shouldn't even after, but musk is what draw the man. That mean the man is nasty if you ask me. But see, the thing about it is, Aaron said funk don't draw women. I tried the aluminum free, doesn't work for me. It worked for me. I was gonna say I've been using the I'm gonna show y'all which one I use, because I use, hey Liberty, it's okay. I know I'm trying a new thing where I'm like scheduling out my lives now so y'all can like, make it and stuff like that. So I'm gonna actually put a quiz on my community tab to see if y'all would prefer me schedule them out or should I just do impromptu? But this is the deodorant that I use. Whoops. Let me just put y'all here and show y'all. But this is the deodorants that I use. And then as y'all can see down here, it says aluminum free. But again, like I said, my arms had to get used to it. But it smells so good. It smelled good. Like this one smelled like roses or whatever. And this one kind of smelled like a warm vanilla. But even when I come from the gym, you can still smell the deodorant on me, because I'm gonna know if I stink or whatever. But like I said, you have to let your underarms purge or whatever. I've already been through the purging stage. So if I use aluminum now on my arms, it's gonna break me out. It's gonna tear my arms up. I use Loom, but it's super expensive. Which one is that one? Where can you find that one at? Ooh, Seaglass said I use the industrial strength. I'm crying. That sounds like it's heavy duty. I use Mercedes Benz deodorant. I ain't even know Mercedes Benz had a deodorant. See, and I was about to say a lot of them, and I try to stick to the same thing. Like I'll try something new or whatever, but with the aluminum, I would always like my underarms would just be all tore up. I would have all types of bumps under my underarms. I don't know, like my skin changed a lot since I've been in my 30s. Like as soon as I hit 30, like a lot of stuff was changing. Even with my makeup, like I try to wear like clean vegan makeup because my face can't handle a lot of this makeup and stuff no more. You wouldn't believe the questions I get about hygiene. Well, I'm glad people is asking questions because like you said and how you said in some of them cultures, they thinking washing is just it. And if anything, if you ask me, whatever the men is drawn to in that culture, for one, they nasty. Because you should want your woman, to hell if what I'm drawn to, you should want your woman to smell good. Like you shouldn't. Why are you putting other people through this? Like I said, I can't hold my nose and hold my breath, but for so long, why are you putting me through this? Like I just won't. That's just something I don't understand, and I know I might sound ignorant, but I'm sorry. Some people just aren't taught. Everyone ain't the same, babe. They can't control the culture. Okay, but if you are going in an American store and people is running to the back when they ask you a question, that should say something. And like I said, every culture should be, to me, culture mean, we might not eat pork and all that other type of stuff. Hygiene should be exempt from culture. If you don't eat pork, fine. If you don't eat meat, fine. But hygiene should not have nothing to do with culture. Like if I'm standing like this and you keep coming close and I keep coming backing up, in your culture, you need to learn to read the room. Oh, she's backing up because I stink. Oh, she's backing up because something on me ain't right. Ooh, Erin said, amen. I want my girlfriend to smell good all the time. Right, all the time. Not just sometimes. Even with the gym. I watched a TikTok where a lot of men are complaining. One man came on his TikTok and he was like, I'm gonna need us normalizing washing the critical areas before we go to the gym. He was like, a lot of y'all females come in here with these short shorts up your behind or whatever, and y'all smelling like cottage cheese. For a man to say that, that's bad. If I've been like this my whole life and everyone around me see it as as normal. Yeah, but when you come to a different country, and again, if somebody is backing up every time you moving forward, I need somebody to read the room, because that's not good. Like, that's not good, especially if you going into stores where it's deodorant on the walls, where it's body wash on the walls. They not selling that just for decoration. They selling deodorants, body wash, toothpaste, Listerine and stuff, because they want you to buy it and use it. So how is these people just coming to a store that sells perfume, lotion, and all that type of stuff, and just walked right past it? And you know they're selling it because they want you to use it. These is things that should be used. But also, me and my mother had this conversation too, because I was kind of upset with my mom because she didn't teach me how to use a tampon. Because she was like, oh, I taught you how to do stuff. I gave you a book. And I said, giving a child a book is not teaching them or whatever. A woman, even if a woman don't use a tampon, she should still know what it is. Like pads and all that type of stuff. Like, and she was like, well, and like my mom, she said, I can't with you. Like my mom's side of the family is Muslim, and she said that they wasn't allowed to wear tampons, and I get that, but also you do have to come up with the times. Like what you learned back in the 1960s and the 1950s is going to be different than me becoming a woman in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm playing softball, I'm playing soccer, and I'm playing karate. And then because back in y'all day or in y'all culture, y'all wasn't allowed to wear tampons. But with me being a young woman growing up in early 2000s, and I'm in all these different sports and there's blood dripping down my leg, that's embarrassing. How am I supposed to explain that to my man coach? Oh, I started my period or whatever, and then now I gotta go put in some funky pad or whatever because I don't know how to use a tampon. So I told my mother, I said, no, Ma, you did not teach me. You gave me a book. I was like, I had to teach myself how to use a tampon. Very embarrassing, very embarrassing. And I'm playing co-ed soccer. I'm playing softball. My mom had me in sports. I was always in sports. I did co-ed basketball. I can't be playing all these sports wearing a pad. So yeah, y'all in your culture or your religion, y'all wasn't supposed to be wearing tampons. But to me, that shouldn't have anything to do with a religion. You know what I mean? That should that has everything to do with womanhood. He's doing good, so that's why I was just like, some things don't need to be a culture thing. A woman should know how to, well, wait till you find out about free. I don't want to know about that because it already sound a mess. But because it just sounds like people just let it be or whatever. But I just feel like when it comes to hygiene and all that type of stuff, it shouldn't be a culture thing. It shouldn't be a religious thing. Like if I'm a young woman or whatever, like I need to know how to take care of myself when I'm a woman, or being a woman or being a lady. Just like men should know how to ooh, child, these lashes is out there. Men should know how to put on condoms, and they should know how to, if they if they aren't circumcised, they should know how to pull the skin back and wash and all that type of stuff. Like a lot of people in religions like Christianity, Islam, and all that type of stuff, they be so afraid to talk about these things. But why? This is all becoming a woman. This is all becoming a man. If he don't learn how to wash himself properly and he was not circumcised, it's going to be all types of funk and bacteria and all types of everything underneath that foreskin. But y'all don't want to talk about it because is more so like what they feel like they talking about sex or whatever. And even still, we need to talk about that too. Like what is the big secret? We all got something. Is either you got this or you got that. Some people got both. But either way, we need to learn how to take care of it. Like, don't sit up here and tell me washing is against your religion or against your culture. Like, I just don't believe that. I'm sorry. Like, at least I feel as though it shouldn't even be like that. Like, okay, eating pork is one thing, eating meat is another thing, but taking care of yourself as a woman and a man should not have nothing to do with religion or with a culture. Exactly. Search it up on. I can't even bring myself to search up something like that because just freestyling it, like how I'm sitting here with y'all, I can just be sitting here messing everywhere. No, I don't even want to make myself mad because that just sounds like a mess. And I know back in the day, like my mom said they would wear pads. It was like pads, but it would be like hooked up to their underwear or whatever. Like they would have to hook it up to their underwear and stuff like that. That's fine. But me as a woman, if you know you are raising a millennial, and just like when I have kids or whatever, even even if they don't use it, like I'ma let my, if I have a baby girl, she needs to know about a pad, she needs to know about a tampon, she needs to know about like them cups or whatever. I wouldn't want her to use a cup, but I still want to educate her on the cups, you know what I mean? She needs to be educated on how to use a woman condom. Most people don't know how to use a woman condom. Most people, I mean, granted, most times women don't wear them, but she's gonna know how to use a woman condom. She's gonna know how to properly use a man condom or whatever. She gonna know how to put that on. Like, I want my children to learn about themselves, not go out in the world and learn it, because that was what I had to do. I had to go out in the world and learn it or whatever. My mother was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you a book." That's not teaching your child. And you don't know what that book got in there. So you just giving me any old book and you ain't even read it yet? Come on now. Hi, it's me. Sorry, I've been busy. From New. Hey, Dobby Lover. No, it's okay. You're good. Welcome back. I'm doing makeup too. Oh, yes. Look at the girls. Yeah, this is my St. Patrick's Day makeup look. So I'm trying to do something new or whatever and do like little makeup demos and makeup tutorials for different like different holidays and events and all that type of stuff. So this is kind of like a easy St. Patrick's Day look, and for the most part I would say that I'm done. I just have to do a lip combo, but I think I'm gonna do that for TikTok. Slay, my birthday is the 23rd in March. See, and I was gonna say your birthday falls in the time where it's like the St. Patrick's Day season. What color is on the lid? So I used a little bit of yellow, and then I did use my Urban Decay Naked palette, and I use this color here for the shimmer, and then I used the gold for the inner corner, and then I did use the majority of my eye is this color here. So that's like the crease color or whatever. And then I'm gonna choose a lip and I'll do my lip as a TikTok video because I'm trying to be more consistent on all platforms. Yep. So yeah. But yeah, you guys are always so funny and so fun to talk to. So a gray or silver. So it's more so like, what you call them, like army green colors. Army green. Yeah, I would say army green. Yeah, because this is more of like a army green palette or whatever. So yeah, army green. And I don't, every time I use this palette is always St. Patrick's Day or whatever I have going on where I have to wear like green and all that type of stuff. So I don't get much use out of that palette, but I wanted to use it. And then I did use a green eyeliner, which you guys really can't even see it. And this is supposed to be a good eyeliner, but I guess it's not. Maybe I gotta put it on below for it to pay off real good. Oh, on my camera it's showing more grayish, and it kind of does look gray. Like when I look up, it definitely look gray. Yeah, it definitely looks gray for sure. But yeah, it's just green. And then I'm using this green pencil. They ain't doing much of nothing. But all right, you guys. So this is the makeup look. It turned out really good. So I love the yellow and the green and stuff for St. Patrick's Day. I feel like this is like a signature type of colors. You can kind of add, I know I've seen some where they add like a sea of blue in it as well. You can do that just to kind of jazz it up. But for the most part, this is the look. So if you guys want to see the full look, I will be filming a quick little TikTok and putting it on TikTok today, so I can stay up on top of my TikToks. But yeah, you guys, how are you wearing your hair? Oh child, we ain't doing all that. This this was literally only like a St. Patty's Day demo, and like I'm not going nowhere. I start work at 5, but I just wanted to film content. So this is what we doing. That I got the hair slicked back because we're gonna take it out, and yeah, I'll figure out the hair. But yeah, that's why I got this on top, because I wanted to just give face today. No hair. We won't be giving hair at least until the next 2 weeks when I get it done for my cruise. So but yeah, I'm gonna be like, I don't know if you watch Kenya Brielle on TikTok, but baby, her hair will be stand on top of her head. She'll do her makeup looks, and she'd be like, listen, I'm about to wash this off anyway. I had to do some little content. And her head be standing right on top of her head. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing. That is beautiful, my friend. Thank you, Erin. I appreciate it. I appreciate. Oh, I have a green. Oh, I'm not going to show y'all this lip combo. I'm going to just wait until y'all see it on TikTok, because I didn't even know I had this color in here. So, yep. So, yeah, you guys, I'm about to, hey, Liberty. So I'm about to get off of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and hearing my St. Patty's Day story about how I lived in Ireland for 3 months. And thank y'all for hanging out with me and doing makeup and stuff with me. If y'all want to see the lip combo, I will be posting it later on this evening of what lip I did choose to go with this look. So if you want to see that, definitely follow my TikTok. But other than that, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will be posting in my community tab a questionnaire, whether y'all want to see planned lives or if y'all just like when I come up here. Call me. Yes, I was gonna say, Brielle, I can call you when I'm finished doing my lip combo, but I do have to be at work at 5, so it's just gonna be a quick call because I did wanted to tell you what was everything that was going on. But yeah, you guys, I will see y'all later. Love you guys.